What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. So today we are talking about Baron Zemo and his Hydra team and getting ready for him. Hopefully he comes in with the maintenance tonight. We've got big server maintenance on that. You may also notice things look a little bit different in here. I mentioned the other day with the Avengers rework, I was working on some stuff and finally installed some blackout curtains here in this room. You guys can see them there on the camera. But yeah, finally I can record videos without having to worry about sun coming through. The blinds, they did okay, but that sun would still come through even with regular curtains. So finally got some blackout curtains installed and things are much darker in here now, much better lighting. So yeah, we are talking about Baron Zemo and this Hydra team. Now, Red Skull with the Hydra Rifle Trooper, Armored Guard, Scientist, and Sniper. That's a pretty standard defensive team. Very powerful defensive team. You usually have to use Inhumans to counter them. Even Power Armor 2 if you have them in the T4 on Ironheart's Ultimate. But then we have this issue where Hydra Grenadier was kind of left off to the side. Winter Soldier and Crossbones all really didn't have a place. And now with Baron Zemo coming in here soon, we're going to have another team that looks like it's just going to absolutely dominate on war offense, especially against Red Skull and his minions here. They are a very powerful anti-minion counter, especially against these guys, because Red Skull can constantly revive minions and Zemo counters that. He can defeat minions, prevent them from reviving. He's like Black Bolt in a way. But any kind of minion team out there looks like it's going to be countered by Zemo. So not just Hydra, but also Shield, possibly even Mercenaries. We'll see how it all works out. But we're going to focus on building up the Zemo squad, because hopefully with the server reset tonight, we see him get thrown in. And with the patch and everything, hopefully he shows up tonight. We'll see. But in the meantime, let's talk about upgrading these characters. Now, two of these characters are tech villains. Another one is bio. We'll talk about 5th characters to plug in with that as well. But first, let's talk about Baron Zemo and his the power of him. As you see here, we're going to pull up Baron Zemo. This is part of the embargo footage that was sent to the envoys. I'm now just kind of diving into for Zemo. And I got to say, I really like his model here, the sword. How he's got like the hand behind the one back, like he's gonna do like some kind of fancy fencing thing or something here. But you're gonna see his stats here. Now, this is a 4/7 build, only 110,000 health, not exactly very tanky, only about 5,000 armor. So he's gonna take damage and he's likely gonna get focused down. This is the same problem run to Domino, where Domino just gets focused down on X-Force teams so quickly. But then in the moment here, you're gonna see his speed. Now, the one thing to keep in mind with him and with Crossbones and with Winter Soldier is that they gain 40% bonus speed when you bring in Baron Zemo and his passive. And I'll even bring up the calculator here for you guys. So he is at, what was that? That was, I can't remember. What was that? 113 speed. So 113 times 1.4. He's going to be 158 speed. That's pretty much the fastest character in the game. That vastly outspeeds Black Widow and Yo-Yo. Hawkeye got a pretty awesome buff as well with his speed. This is going to be drastically faster than those characters. So he's going to be very fast. Now, when we're going to look at his abilities here, you can see his T4s. And right away on his basic, doesn't look that powerful. It's only 50% damage. Let me move my camera out of the way so you guys can see it. Yeah, it's only plus 50% damage on his primary with the T4. Not really one that you want to write home about, so you can likely skip that one. But then you get to his special here with this 160% bonus damage to minion primary target with this T4, plus 5% piercing, plus 80% normal damage. That's a pretty significant damage boost. I'm not going to say this is necessary, but this is definitely one that you want to keep an eye on. Likely going to be very powerful, because this stacks up to 900% damage against a minion, plus 20% piercing, and minions killed by this attack cannot be revived. So if he can one-shot with this T4, I definitely think this is going to be a vital T4 to get on him. But we'll have to do some testing and see if this is going to be a worthwhile T4 to get on him or not. But there is one other T4 we'll get to here in a moment, and that'll be on his passive. But we'll see his ultimate here. This one, I think you can pass on this one. The T4 does give rebound chain to 4 adjacent targets instead of 3. Gives about 50% more bonus damage on that. I mean, you can go for that T4 if you want to, but I think we can pass on that T4 for now. I think that's a luxury T4 you can come back to later, but possibly some other T4s you want to spend on other characters in the meantime. But that ability block with this and the slow for 2 turns, I think that's going to be big. for ability blocking like Red Skull or someone who's going to have a lot of power with minions. If you need an ability block on Red Skull, you can prevent him from summoning those extra minions. Then also that slow for 2 turns on him, and then applying slow to all other enemies for 2 turns. Like, that's a big deal. So I mean, this is possibly going to be a worthwhile T4, but we'll see in the future. And then finally, we're going to get to his passive here. And this is one you definitely want to get. So it gives plus 100% damage to all targets if he has charged. Remember, if he has charged, he attacks all non-minion enemies for 300% damage and all minion enemies for 400% damage. Also clears 3 positive effects from all enemies and plus 20% speed for himself and all non-minion Hydra allies. Definitely the T4 you're going to want to put first on Zemo. I mean, 100% bonus damage, clearing 3 positive effects, and that 20% bonus speed. That's half of his speed bonus right there on the T4. I think if there's any T4 you're going to invest on Zemo, this is the one to go for. Usually passives are worthwhile T4s anyways. There's no exception here on this guy. Yeah, he looks pretty good. So let's pull up the buffs to your Zemo Hydra characters, and we'll start with Winter Soldier here. Now, his Relentless Assassin, it's been changed, so it's guaranteed to bonus attack 1 to 2 times here at level 3. And at level 7 with this T4, it's guaranteed to attack twice, and you get 30% bonus damage on the bonus attacks. Maybe a worthwhile T4, maybe. I don't know. I don't really see that one being a worthwhile T4, but we'll see. And then his passive, his T4 here, gives additional 5% crit chance for himself and all Hydra allies. I'd probably pass on this one too. I don't think this one's going to be worthwhile either. But then we go over here to Hydra Grenadier, and honestly, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, it's best to just not do any T4s on this guy. The focus for self on Hydra allies, 10% bonus focus on the T4 here on his passive. You can likely skip that one. I don't think you're going to want to use that one too much. And then I believe there is, yeah, we go over here to Crossbones. And his T4 on his Wrath ability has been reworked. He now gains 2 to 3 counter. So you get possibly an extra stack of counter at a T4. 50% chance to get an extra stack of counter. I think you can definitely pass on that T4. And then where's the other one? Yeah, his Detonate ability. He gives these defense up to himself now. And this T4 is only 40% bonus damage. This T4 does not scale well. This has been a complaint I've seen before with Crossbones. This one I definitely think is not a worthwhile one for him. So yeah, I mean, we'll go into the regular abilities here in a moment as well. But then this T4 on his passive Vengeance, only 5% bonus max health. You can skip this. You can definitely skip that one too. It's only going from 15 to 20% max health. Not a big deal. There's nothing else to stack on that one. So if we go over here to these characters on the normal, his basic, we didn't see anything on that. His basic staying as is. Definitely don't think you need the T4 on that passive. We've already seen the T4s there. Winter Soldier, I think his mechanical arm, this 80% bonus damage, this is going to deal a lot of damage. I mean, you're talking, oh gosh, you're talking what, 630% damage, I believe. I think my math is correct there. So it goes from 550 up to 630% damage. It looks like it's going to hit pretty hard. So this may be a T4 to invest in down the road. Possibly, but yeah, I wouldn't go for that one right away. We've already seen Expert Assassin, Relentless Assassin, and Winter Assaults. I mean, only 5% piercing damage on that. You can pass on that T4 any day, all day. No point in doing that one. And then Hydra Grenadier, his Corrosive Grenade, you can pass on that one. And his Flak Grenade, only 20% bonus damage and 5% piercing. I would pass on that T4 as well. So the nice thing is from this, like on the like at first glance, it looks like this team is not going to require a lot of T4s to invest in. I mean, you have a couple on Zemo, possibly one here on Winter Soldier with his ultimate. And then other than that, it doesn't look like there's any T4s that you really need to invest in this team. So it looks like if this team is going to work as well as we are hoping and how we think it's going to work, it's going to be nice to see it's going to be a minimal T4 investment. So we'll see how that all works. Now let's talk about who we plug in to that 5th spot. And honestly, the easiest option, the one that everybody talks about, is going to be Kingpin. And Kingpin makes sense here. I mean, he's a villain. He gives you offense up and defense up. Where's my Kingpin? There's my Kingpin. Yeah, so his boss's order, he gives you offense up and defense up. This one really definitely going to help, especially with like the passive with Zemo. He's getting charged. He has that offense up. It's going to increase the damage that his passive will deal. At least I believe that's how it works. He's got Crime Lord, where he can summon some minions that can tank. He's got Mastermind, where villains can assist. Yeah, I mean, overall, Kingpin is like the best or like the really like go-to plug and play option for this team. I mean, you have, yeah, he's just got great villain synergies here with assists and everything. He could use a bit of a touch-up. Maybe one day we'll see him get buffed, and maybe we'll see that Spider-Verse tag on him. But another one I really think could possibly be overkill, but you know what? Why not? Let's try Ultron. So Ultron, whenever he kills someone, all villain tech allies have positive effects prolonged on them by duration of 1. We have 2 tech villains on this team already with Grenadier and with Crossbones. You get them, you get offense up and defense up on them, and Ultron just starts going crazy and killing people. You're prolonging the offense up and defense up on them. So that is something to keep in mind as well. Yeah, I mean, both those options work pretty well. If you want to go crazy with your plug-in options, Squirrel Girl, I mean, she has a team-wide cleanse. The one thing that that's Baron Zemo's team does not have is any kind of sustainability. There's no healing with the team. So if you have a character who can heal and also remove all negative effects from the team, looks pretty good. You can also call the ally with the highest damage to attack the primary target. So you can call Zemo to assist with this, possibly if Zemo's your highest damage target, or call someone else to assist with this as well. She can also apply offense down and bleed to the entire enemy team. And yeah, I mean, she also has this where offense down, ignoring taunt and stealth to the enemy with the most speed bar. So yeah, Squirrel Girl, I know people don't like Squirrel Girl. They'd like to use her with Young Avengers. Squirrel Girl I use as like a plug and play character right now. I've got her plugged in with my symbiotes. I've got Carnage, Symbiote Spider-Man, Squirrel Girl, Ms. Marvel, and I think Shuri. And a lot of sustainability with that team. And there's Young Avenger, Hero Brawler, kind of synergies going on with Ms. Marvel and Squirrel Girl. I like that team. So that's who I use with symbiotes, but I can see using Squirrel Girl elsewhere. I think she's a pretty good plug and play character until we get a solid Young Avenger squad. Maybe down the road we get buffs to them. I think Squirrel Girl is going to be a solid plug and play character. But let me know down below, what do you guys think about the Baron Zemo squad? Who do you guys want to plug into that 5th? Do you guys have any other ideas? Let me know down below. But as always, if you have enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content in the future. And as always, I will see you guys next time.